We're live.
Yes, we're back. We're back, guys. We are back. Guys, as you walk in, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to Cal Culture Radio. Hakeem, Jordan, what's cracking like it? What's cracking like it? What is cracking like it, my dudes?
Man, living the dream.
Hey man, feeling good, feeling great, can't complain. We about to get it in. Hey man, let's go. Let's get it.
Not only that, but we also have some heartbreaking news. Hakeem, I know you want to speak on it. Go right ahead, my brother.
Um, for a lot who don't know, I want to say rest in peace to Maurice Jackson, a high school buddy of mine. Somebody I know over 20 years. Rest in peace to him. He lost his life on Father's Day. I pray for his wife. I pray for his kids, his two older boys, his middle daughter, and the two younger daughters. Me and Ron, we always have these conversations, and life is not promised tomorrow. Spend time with the person you love. I love you, Maurice. Always gonna love you, Maurice. Always been a friend of me. Known you since I was a kid. So it's a heartbreaking situation, man. And for people who don't know, he was watching our podcast here. He used to come and watch us and comment and always speak and say was a real humble guy, really humble, nicest person you can ever meet. Sadly, the world is not going to see his potential.
That's a fact too, and I used to see him around too when I used to walk around the block, grocery store. He's always there, smart, very laughable person. Very comes in with that present. Jordan, if you met him in real life, you'll think you know him for over 20 years, like I gained it. Very cool guy.
Real
And,
good guy.
I really want to show love to him as well. And when Hakeem called me, shout out to all the fathers out there. It was Happy Father's Day, especially to you, Jordan. I saw you doing your thing, but it showed you that life is not promised. That's why you got to show love, man. That's why you got to. Sherry Bynes in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Sherry, some love.
Me, Sherry, and him all grew up together. Like we all used to be together, and used to hang out with each other. Like so, this is not like I spoke to her. This is not somebody you just met. This is not somebody I just met yesterday. I'm talking about damn near my whole life as a kid until to an adult. So.
And then he gone the next day. I always tell people, man, you have any form of grudges, let it go, man.
Yeah.
Reconcile, man. You don't know, man. We could be here today and gone tomorrow. That's we gotta appreciate today, man. And show somebody like you love them, you care about them, you appreciate them. Don't spend too much time on social media. Too many people on social media today, but really spend that time with your loved ones, man. Check up on them too. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Moving along to sports. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to the aspect of the sports world, big dog?
Let's get into it. So yesterday was some big trade news coming out in the NBA. The Memphis Grizzlies has traded their shooting guard Desmond Bane to Orlando Magic for Cole Anthony, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and 4 unprotected first-round picks. So what happened is, so this definitely boosts up Orlando Magic's line. When it comes to the Memphis, they likely they had like a big three with Desmond Bane, Jerry Jackson, and John Morant. But it looks like they're going in a different direction. Focus on those two, and it looks like Orlando is, they're trying to make a big push to, try to make it go deep into the playoffs next year. So I'll go ahead, play the little clip, and after that we'll chop it up.
Where the Orlando Magic have acquired Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies in a blockbuster trade. That's according to ESPN. Now, in return, Memphis will receive Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and a first-round swap. As you take a look At the full deal there in the details. Bane spent the first 5 years of his career in Memphis, averaging just over 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. So he'll now join a Magic team that's looking to make its way back to the conference finals for the first time since 2010. We've got break.
So yeah, like I said, when it comes to Atlanta Magic, if you look at the East, it's kind of wide open in a way, and they're trying to make a real push into the playoffs. So go ahead, Ronnie. I know you heard the news the other day. So what do you think about the Memphis Grizzlies side and also the Atlanta Magic side when they made this trade with Desmond Bane?
I think it was a good sign. Because Desmond normally averages about close to 15, 20 points a game, like 4 assists and also like 3 rebounds. So it's really a good trade, especially with the Memphis Grizzlies. They need help. Ja can't do everything. I kept telling people the only reason why Ja and them didn't go close to the final is because Ja was doing everything. And look what happened. Ja got hurt. Ja, they call him the legendary today, or like Derrick Rose, does everything for the team, but they end up getting hurt. But now they're trying to get him more support and more help, which is good for him. Because I think they want Ja to stay there. They don't want Ja to end up leaving. And not only that, but Alonzo Monja also need help too when it comes to what's his name is was it Palomalu? Palomalu, same thing. Needs help. He needs support. So if doing a trade like this is gonna help support him, go right ahead. Orlando Magic last year did extremely well, but they just need help and support. Go right ahead, Hakeem.
So I thought this was a good trade. I wanted to see how Orlando Magic uses this and utilize this to get back into the realm of things, because they've been lacking these last couple of years. And who else do they have on that team that's like maybe notable? That because I really don't know.
You talk about Orlando?
Yeah.
Oh, Pablo Blancaro. If you saw in the first round of playoffs, he was going there against Boston.
Yeah, he ball. He averaged about 40 points a game. Yeah, he ball.
Yeah, Frost Wagner too. He's a baller too.
I heard that name. He a black guy, right?
No, he a white guy.
White guy, but he just ball like a black guy. He balls
like one.
He balls really good. He balls really good.
Let's see.
I think he should get traded. He need to go to another team, but he balls.
Yeah, for sure. This when it comes to the trade aspect, this does put Atlanta Magic into a different level. Desmond Bane, he is a really, really good player. When it comes to how Atlanta Magic gave up access to him, which is for our drafted first round draft picks, to me, I think that was way too much, because you send that amount of access to another team, you best be getting a goddamn at least an all-star, which Desmond Bane has not been. Not saying he will be. He is a really, really good player, but given all that access to the Memphis Grizzlies for Desmond Bane, you better make it to the Eastern Conference Finals with him, because I believe Atlanta Magic gave away too many assets to get Desmond Bane. But, when it comes to Memphis Grizzlies and everything, it seems like they're going to build around John Morant and Jared Jackson Jr. So we're going to see, are they going to maybe get another piece to add to the Memphis Grizzlies, because they do have assets of 4 unprotected first-round picks and everything. So it's either, they could use it to get somebody, maybe get Kevin Durant. You never know if he wants to go there. So they might make some noise about pursuing Kevin Durant. We may not know that. But, we'll see what Memphis Grizzlies is going to do. But Orlando Magic, like I said, they need to make with this move, and they feel comfortable with this move, they got to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals next year, which they can, because you look at Boston. Remember, Jason Tatum, he hurt his Achilles, so he might not play all next year. So, and also the Boston Celtics, they're gonna, there's some players that are going to leave because they're over the cap, so they can't sign nobody. They can't sign everybody. So Boston's gonna look different next year. Pacers, even though they're in the finals, are they gonna go back to it? Detroit Pistons are coming, but they're still young. The New York Knicks, we don't know what coach they're gonna get. So the East is wide open. So, and Atlanta Magic are saying, yo, with this piece, I think we can go far with this man Desmond Bane. And we'll see how it goes.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow us over in important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live.
Yeah.
Shout out to those right now watching us on Rumble and also X. Shout out to those right now watching us on TikTok and also Bingo Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this lovely fresh start Monday. Like always, shout out to the lovely Bobby Brown that's also in the building. Shout out to my man also in the building as well. Is also here right now watching us on Instagram. Thank you so much. King is watching us. 35 is in the building. Moving along to money. Money make the world go around. Money makes our pockets fat. So Jordan, we headed to the summertime. What's going on when it comes to aspect of the financial news, big dog?
Yes, you're right, Ronnie. So summertime is here. So that means, family vacations, family trips, people are going to take vacations. So we're going to break down when it comes to people staying in hotels, or how to save money going to different hotels. So Yahoo Finances, they're going to tell you all about it. So go ahead, King, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
%53% of Americans plan to pay for travel lodging this summer, according to a study from Deloitte. When asked for the top reasons to book a hotel, survey respondents said that they look for great location, room comfort, and service. And according to Hotel.com's Hotel Price Index, there are ways for budget-conscious travelers to save, even at five-star hotels. I want to bring in Melanie Fish, Hotels.com travel expert, to break down this report. We got to know what's top of mind for travelers this summer.
Well, it's no secret that everyone is really watching every dollar this summer. And for travelers booking hotel stays, that doesn't mean they're not traveling. And it doesn't mean they're looking for the cheapest stays. It means that they're laser focused on value. So today, the Hotel Price Index from Hotels.com comes out, and it really shows how and where people can get the most value in their hotel stays.
Hotels.com has both hotels and home shares. Are consumers preferring one option over the other? What are we seeing in the trends?
Yeah, Expedia Group has Hotels.com for hotel stays, and then Vrbo for private vacation rental stays. And what we see is not that travelers are choosing one or the other, but that they have certain times when they want that private vacation home, when they're traveling with a group or family. And then there are times when you want a hotel stay. I'm traveling solo right now. I choose the hotel. When I'm with my family, I choose the Vrbo.
So where can travelers find good hotel deals domestically and internationally?
Here's what the Hotel Price Index is showing. In general, across the U.S., hotel prices are slightly down this summer over last summer. And in certain popular destinations like San Francisco, Atlanta, Austin, Texas, they're down almost 10%. Now, internationally, prices are slightly up, but still tend to be lower on average than in the U.S.
Now, this got our team talking in our morning meeting this morning. You have a concept called margarita math to help judge hotel costs. Break that down for us.
I love margarita math in the Hotel Price Index. Its official name is the barometer. And what the Hotels.com did is take a look at the cost of poolside cocktails across the U.S. to gauge where the best value is and if there was a correlation to hotel room night rates. In general, there is a correlation. The more you spend for a hotel, the more expensive that poolside cocktail is going to be. But if you want the best value in your poolside drinks, Nashville is the place to go. Those prices are about $5 less than the top poolside cocktail prices in LA.
You know, that's good to know. And it's also kind of reaffirming of one of the decisions I made last time I stayed in Nashville, and I chose based on the rooftop cocktails and the rooftop itself. So how can loyalty programs help you save on your trip?
Yeah, loyalty programs are key, and I can talk about the Hotels.com one in specific because you're not only getting those lower rates, but don't underestimate the power of the perk because it's not just about price. So VIP Access hotels on Hotels.com are offering $250 in food and beverage credit, for example, a bottle of wine in your room upon check-in. I'm on the rooftop of the Godfrey Hotel in Chicago, and of course you're getting these views of downtown Chicago, but you're also getting 20% off on your spa services here. So power of the perks, the better rates, and then you want that loyalty currency. When people are worried about the economy, they start to spend that stored up loyalty currency. In Hotels.com's case, it's One Key Cash, which you can turn around and spend on your very next hotel stay, or kind of hoard it, store it up, and splurge on a luxury stay later on.
Melanie, great to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time here with us. And I was trying to figure out, to my best assumptions, what the background was. Thanks for letting us know. It's the Windy City, Chicago. Thank you.
So yeah, like I said, summertime is here, so it depends on how big your family is. Do you want to, find a good price, or also, look at the perks of staying at hotels or resorts as well. So go ahead, Ronnie, man, what's your take about, saving up hotels when it comes to these trips?
Yeah, I think saving up a hotel is a good idea too, and not only that, but you have some cheap hotels also online. Expedia, that's the one I actually use when I normally travel. I go to Expedia and see what deals they have when it comes to aspect of a hotel. But I'm keeping in mind, it is very, very expensive to travel, especially right now. It's extremely expensive to travel. So if you don't have the resources to travel, don't travel. Don't put yourself into a hole that you can't get yourself out of. But if you are traveling this summer to high-end cities like Miami, LA, New York, Dallas, Atlanta, you gotta look for deals. You gotta look for sales, especially when it comes to aspect of hotels. But a lot of people, what they're doing now too, Jordan, to save, a lot of them are doing Airbnbs. A lot of them probably don't even go to a hotel as they used to anymore. But now it seems like even hotels are kind of working agreement out with the Airbnb as well, because they know it's like hotel sales has been dropping dramatically because nobody don't really do that anymore as they used to because of the prices. But look for deals. If you're traveling this summer, look for deals, and there's a lot of deals out there, like 2 for 1. It's crazy when it comes to aspect of hotel. But if you're traveling this summer, look for deals. Save money. Don't spend money like a rich person that you do. Trust me, don't do that. Go right ahead. You muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
I wish my little sister was up here. Her and her partner travel extensively. And what they have told me is this, and I know some things about this. It's best to get a travel credit card for a lot of your travel. It's best to get a hotel credit card for a lot of the hotels you stay. You get free upgrades. You get complimentary things, just as the ladies say. So we have to start thinking smarter. And a lot of people might go against credit, but credit does save you money when it utilized the right way. You know what I mean? Shout out to Shanice Brewster. What's up, Queen? So when I know that Ron, you're a traveler too. I used to travel extensively, and I know that hotels.com, Expedia, Hopper is another one where you'll find good flights, and staying at hostels. I used to stay at hostels when I was traveling in DC, Philly, and stuff like that to find good deals. So right now, it takes a lot more research to travel if you want to save a little bit money to have for amenities and food and gifts and stuff like that when you're traveling. So it's best to, one, do your research, two, get you a travel credit card and a hotel credit card.
The only reason why I mentioned the travel credit card, because remember, you got to spend a certain amount to get those deals. I don't want the people to put themselves in a hole they can't get themselves out of. That's the only reason why I mentioned travel credit card. But you do make a good point when it comes to the aspect of the travel credit card. Go right ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, and another thing I want to say, when you come plans for these trips, make sure you plan months and months and months in advance, and also make a budget when it comes to these trips. So, let's say you want to go to St. Louis or something off the grid like in the summertime that a lot of people don't go to, like New Orleans or something like that. To me, it's the best thing to do is plan months ahead. Look at deals. For me, I use T-Mobile Tuesdays when it comes to hotels, because usually I can find good deals up to 40% off. So I usually look at that, see what's some good deals. Or let's say me and my wife, we want to spend on something. For instance, like a Hawaii. We went 2 years ago. You know, even though there was a fire happened around that time, and we kind of saved some money because a lot of people was kind of afraid because we didn't know the impact of it. But like stuff like that, you could definitely look at hotels and resorts and see who gets out the best. I was talking about they do like a 30% spa where you get food credit and everything. It's to me really to take advantage to that, especially when Hakeem was talking about travel credit card. If you want, like I say, if you know how to build your credit up and everything, and do these things, and also plan months in advance, you could get the additional complimentary stuff and bonuses and everything. But you just gotta have a plan on that and everything, especially if you travel a lot. But yeah, people, even though summertime is the biggest thing because school is out, all the kids are out and everything. Yeah, like as a family, like when it's on the new year, talk to the family, see where they want to go, in June, July, and August. And for that, make a budget and how much you're gonna spend on hotels, Uber, cars, flights, and everything. And then by the time the trip comes and everything, you have already set and everything, and you have a budget how much you want to spend, and maybe you might have a little bit more to spend, a little extra as well.
I want to also say you and him all right. A lot of people don't have good credit to travel, and I want to you are right as far as especially in this day in this current market where people barely have $700 in their bank account, and a lot of people are financing their travel trips, which is also we totally against that. If you can't pay it all, do not do not do it. Okay, we got a new subscriber. I'm a native of the Blackfoot County, Bikini Nation.
I can't over here be comment, man.
Oh, my bad. No, shout outs to the American Indians. I haven't met one yet in my whole life.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for being here on this fresh start Monday. Moving along to hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to the aspect of the hip hop news?
Well, I hope everybody had Father's Day yesterday, but when it comes to 50 Cent, when it comes to Father's Day, he took down the whole social media. So yesterday, go ahead, Akeem, you can post the picture. So 50 Cent went off on his baby mama and also his son. On his baby mama, he said, "Oh, his father said, Happy Father's Day, you little B. I'll have custody soon, little B. You'll be back on the OnlyFans in time for that little B. But know how it is. You're going to learn, little B." And then while he was going off with his baby mama, him and the son went at it and everything. For his son, he said, "Oh, his father said, Happy Father's Day to all the real ones." He said, "I'm watching my bet and it ain't looking too good. I got the over, and we all know this day for photo ops. The day ain't over yet. Finish strong, so get on your job." So apparently, he posted a picture of his 50 Cent's son. Put a picture of 50 Cent and his second son appeared together in a photo, which is blank right now. So he's going. So he kind of placed a bet against his father about his son and everything. And then 50 Cent came back saying, "You little punk, your mama got you on your sister's scamming. The people came to ask me for some questions about it. I said I don't F with them. I'm a law-abiding citizen." So, like I said, well, everybody's had a good Father's Day. When it comes to 50 Cent, I don't think he had a good Father's Day by him and his son going at it and also going at his baby mama. So, and 50 Cent went very viral for this on this. So, Ronnie, what you guys say about 50 Cent and his baby mama situation, his son situation on Father's Day?
See, the thing with them two, 50 Cent and his son, both of them are messy. Both of them are toxic. They usually have a weird type of relationship when it comes to the aspect of father and son. Sometimes your son may not like you, sometimes your father may not like you. But the whole aspect is, 50 Cent, he don't get along with the baby mama. That's why I want in the comment, you talking about go ahead, talk to your mama about it. Their relationship is just a weird type of relationship between father and son. I think eventually I hope them two actually reconcile, actually go sit down with a therapist and see if they go both see what is the root cause of everything. But his son's pretty much seeing him as him pretty much abandoning them. abandoning him and also the baby mama, and realized that he could have been more well off if he was right next to 50 Cent. But 50 Cent could care too less about it. People got to feel like 50 Cent grew up rough. So his mindset when it comes to parenthood is totally different than the average person. So people might say right now 50 Cent is trolling his own son, making fun of his own son because that's how he grew up. That's all he knows. So some people are not made to be fathers. No offense to 50 Cent. I respect him when it comes to aspect of business. But as a father, he's not doing a great job at it. Go ahead, Hakeem.
A lot of people might not like this commentary, but I respect 50 Cent. He hasn't changed. He hasn't deviated from who he is as a person. You got to respect the man who's been consistent and who's never wavered. Let's get something straight. I haven't seen not one comment calling him a deadbeat. Let's get something straight. He gave Maurice mama millions of dollars. He was giving Maurice $6,000-7,000 after the man was 21, and he also was financially supporting his second son. So here's the thing, and people say, "Hey, it's the choice of woman you make." Lots of time you don't know the people who you're dealing with, and let's also remember this man grew up without a mama or a daddy. His grandparents raised him. He still don't know who his real father is, and his mother was unalive when he was a kid. This is what you getting. This is not a man who's healed. This is a man who's not playing games. And he has a lot of money. If you getting up in his tutelage, you sign up for what you get. I don't see nothing wrong with what he's been doing.
But he trolling his own son.
Listen, I'll troll my own son if he disrespect me too. Hey, listen, I gave you life and I'll take you up out of here. I've already given everything you deserve, homie. I don't owe you nothing else after that. Millions of dollars, and I gave you life. I bumped and grind for you to get here. Respect your upline.
You're missing it, Hakeem. Some people need that father's love, man. You're missing it.
No. Respect me and you'll get this father's love. Everything is conditional.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna agree to your set to Hakeem when it comes to 50 Cent. As soon as he came out until now, we know who he is, the type of person he is. Family knows the type of person he is. The son knows the type of person he is. The baby mama, everybody knows what type of person he is. And my thing is like people don't know, and he does this. 50 Cent's a very caring person. I can name a lot of people that he took care of, but there's sometimes, but like I said, he's a New Yorker. How born he was raised. If you stab this man in the back,
got it.
That's it. If you turn your back against him, that's it. You know.
Don't put that on the bed. I sleep there.
You know, he with 50 Cent in his life, he learned too much.
That's still cardboard.
And like I said, before him and his son got at it, he was there in his life and everything. But it said his mama was, was talking to his son and trying to turn, to make mama. 50 Cent's baby mama was trying to talk to his son, trying to turn against him and everything. And that was the reason that they have a staying relationship right now and everything. So 50 Cent blamed the mama for staying in that relationship with Marquise and everything. And yeah, when we see with 50 Cent, this is what you get. This man's not gonna turn on nothing. 50 Cent stands on business. If you mess with him, that's it. There ain't no turning back. It's like if you're done, he's dead to you. That is it. And he's a man that stands on business. He's not gonna turn back. Some men, they do. They want to fix and everything. I saw Tyrese. I don't know y'all saw the clip with Tyrese. Him and his father was talking for 10 years, but he went to see his father because I think his father has stage 4 cancer, and he saw his father for the first time in over a decade and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to that, that's great to see. But 50 Cent, this is what he is. He's gonna die. He's gonna die on his. That's what I see for 50. If you want to stick on this and die for yours, hey, that's you.
But shout out to White House. That's also in the building. Shout out to Just the Facts is also in the building. Good evening, panel. White House, what's up, guys? Shout out to Jonah Hurdle is also in the building. Happy belated Father's Day to Jay. And happy future father to the brothers Ron and Hakeem. It is written. It is written. Shout out also shout out to Zakir. I'm gonna say your name right. Zakir. He said, yeah, 50 Cent already did his son a favor by letting people know he is a son. Y'all missing it. Y'all missing it when it comes to fatherhood, man.
Hey.
It's not always about spending bills, providing stuff like that. Them kids need father's love. It's not about all that resources, man. Y'all missing the point. That's why the black community would stay what it is now. Go ahead.
As a father, Ronnie, I'm not the type of person that 50 Cent is, but there are some fathers, who are very strong and masculine, and if you mess up on them so many times, they will cut you loose. And to me, you had to do something so hot enough that a father got to turn around to do that. And with 50 Cent, I wish they could do it, but as a man, when that's on his fist, how he's seeing this crowd, I gotta respect it as a man and as a father. I know I'm just saying as seeing his view as a father. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I would not do that, but in his case, as being a father, that's on him.
So you gotta say something. We live in a generation where people are messed up because of the lack of fathers. But go ahead.
So I want to read a couple real quick to understand what this say. Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and thy mother, so that may live long in the land of the Lord God has given to you. Here's the thing. Deuteronomy 5:16. Honor your father and mother as the Lord you God has commanded you, so that your days may be long, that you may go well with you in the land of the Lord. Children, Ephesians 6-1-3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment, with a promise that it may go well with you, and that you may have long life on this earth. Colossians 3:20. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this is pleasing of the Lord. Matthew 15:4. For God's sake, honor your father and mother. And anyone who curses his father or mother must be put to unalive.
But
do y'all need to keep going?
I can't, but I'm gonna say this how it stands today and everything. To me, for my kids, by honoring your father, don't put stuff out in public. They don't have to talk or anything like that. But when this comes to public like that, you're kind of disrespecting. And to me, that's a line that I can't cross.
But let me ask you a question: who put out who first? Marquise put out who first. So you just humiliated your dad in his last name, saying that you bigger than the program. You can't be bigger than the man who made you. God worked through 50 to put him on earth. You saying you're gonna go at the 50? All you had to do is listen to your father. Marquise would have been right there running 50% Enterprises right there in Shreveport, Louisiana, being the CEO of the company. Sayer got spirits behind his name. Spirits. Liquor.
No, but when it comes to aspect of fatherhood, I would say fatherhood is a very, very deep subject, because a lot of people don't know how to be fathers. And 50 Cent not giving a good example. I'm just being honest. He just has resources.
He has resources, but this is a man who grew up without no father. There's no manual.
That was say he don't have a good example of being a father. Look, he was raised without a father. I can't expect somebody to be a father and never had a father in his life.
I can't agree with that, Ronnie. Like I said, I ain't have a father like that.
No, but you have father figures. 50 Cent never had a father figure. He only had the streets.
No, he had his granddaddy there.
Yeah.
He had his granddaddy there. His granddaddy.
But he never talk about his granddad. He mostly talk about the streets. The streets raised him.
Listen, just the facts. He said, Prince, I keep acting like everybody govern their life by Christian values. Do you think 50 and Marquise follow strictly the Bible? No.
Of course not.
Just the facts. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying this. But they play Christian when they ready to. When they get jammed up, they start mentioning Christianity. So I had to bring that in. I'm just saying, black people, especially black Americans, we are rooted by Christianity. And you got some who are Muslims. Let's just say that. But I'm just saying this. Regardless, in black culture, you got to honor that father, that mother. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm done.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. So very important for you guys to follow so you never miss us when we go live. Shout out to Dory right now watching us on Rumble and also X. Thank you guys also tuning in right now on TikTok and also Bingo Live. Thank you guys so much for being here on this Fresh Start Monday. Moving along. Jordan, what's happening? What's going on with the Diddy trial? So Juror got let go. Let's see what's going on over there, big dog.
Yeah, so Juror number 6 got let go today, and he was a black man because because the judge asked the juror about where he stay at, and he was kind of giving different questions and everything. So when you do that as a juror and everything, you're switching your address and everything. It kind of makes you not liable to be in a courtroom because, what's your mindset of thinking of the process when it comes to, if you think Diddy's guilty or not. And that's what I think the judge was thinking, so he got let go. And then also we had to talk about this on Friday because we wasn't on. Kanye West did make an appearance into the court standing by with Diddy's family and everything. So yesterday he wanted to come show support to Diddy. He made no comments about it or anything, but he did make an appearance on a Friday going to Diddy as well. And so right now it wasn't really going on today. Yeah, I think they kind of ended early in a way. But tomorrow, I think the prosecutor gonna bring their final. I don't think they're final, but they're bringing another person to testify as well. So go ahead, Hakeem. Do you have a clip play? And after that, we'll chop it up.
Welcome back to ABC News Live. First, a judge in the Son Diddy Combs trial has officially dismissed a juror. Prosecutors had requested the juror be removed due to, quote, lack of candor. The defense argued they just wanted to dismiss a black juror. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. So, Aaron, what was the issue with this juror?
His candor, according to the judge, Diane. The judge said he gave conflicting answers when asked a pretty basic question. Where do you live? And during jury selection, he said he lived in the Bronx. He then mentioned somewhat casually to a court staff member that he had moved to New Jersey. And then when questioned about it, he gave conflicting answers about whether he was actually living in the Bronx or whether he was living in New Jersey. And the judge said that raised broader questions about his candor and whether he made a deliberate attempt to try and get himself seated onto the jury for this particular trial. And he said that could not stand.
Aaron, the defense has made arguments that this is racially motivated. How does this affect the makeup of the jury now?
It does make it, I guess, a bit whiter. The replacement alternate is a 57-year-old architect from Westchester County. But the judge noted that race isn't a concern because it is a diverse jury, even with the dismissal of this 41-year-old black man from either the Bronx or New Jersey. And the judge also said it would be inappropriate for him to consider race when making the decision as to whether this juror's candor made it appropriate for him to stick around.
Now, prosecutors are expected to wrap this week, I should say. So what are you watching for as they call their final witnesses?
Well, the one on the stand right now is just a summary witness. It's a paralegal from the U.S. Attorney's Office trying to help the jury organize some of the 500 plus exhibits they've seen over the last several weeks. We expect a couple of those. There's one additional substantive witness, though, and that's a former assistant to Sean Combs, someone else who might be able to tell the jury about drugs, about setting up hotels, about how he treated people in his orbit as prosecutors seek to prove that he was running a criminal enterprise.
Then, of course, the defense will start calling their own witnesses. Aaron, any indication whether Diddy will testify in his own defense?
Not yet. The defense had told the judge last week that they would make representations about the contours of its case this week. Now, we haven't heard anything from the defense yet. We do know we expect the defense to call at least one witness, a psychological expert, to counteract the psychological testimony of a prosecution expert about how alleged victims of sex trauma process what's happened to them. But we don't know what else the defense may have in store, including whether Sean Combs himself will testify in his own defense.
All right, Aaron Katursky outside the courthouse for us. Thanks, Aaron. And for more, be sure to follow our special show.
Yeah, man. Shout out just for facts. I see he's definitely followed the Diddy trial, so we appreciate you, brother, for watching, man. Appreciate you. I like you, man. I like you. I really do. So yeah, thanks for watching. So yeah, like I said, the judge let the juror 6 go, and they brought in another alternative jurors because when it comes to Diddy case and everything, they don't just have the jurors that's on the floor. They do have alternative jurors if somebody else would get sick or family emergency, something like that. They could take another juror that's alternative and put it to the main juror. So, but yeah, go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take about the judge releasing this juror and also furthermore to the Diddy case as well?
No, but to me, releasing a black juror doesn't make Diddy case look even slimmer for him to win. Now you make it an all-white juror. They say race don't have nothing to do with it. It does have a lot to do with race. I thought it was supposed to be 50-50. It's supposed to be white and also black. You can't make the juror all white, man. Like, come on, that's not fair. I think that's why the defense are really they're actually I think they did a motion on that to the judge to find out if they can be replaced with another black juror because they say it's becoming unfair. It's mostly all white juror. Now, I don't know why they made it about race. Of course, they're going to make it about race. That's the most thing they focus on. But things are not looking good for the Diddy Meister right now. It really does not look good. And not only that, Jordan, I thought the defense was going to take this week. It seemed like they're pushing it back again for another week. I'm like, prosecution, go ahead, wrap it up. I thought it was done already. I guess not. So it's another week of prosecution, and then next week, finally the defense will go. I've been wondering, too, would Diddy take the stand? I think he should because he's fighting for his livelihood and also his company and also his empire. To me, he should take the stand. If he sits out, that's a bad call because even O.J. Simpson took the stand. He need to take the stand. Go right ahead, King.
I love that we say that. We about to unpack something real different that we don't talk about enough here. Only in Chaos Culture Radio we do this. I want to read a description. Then I'm going to say quick commentary. A juror of one's peers referred to a jury composed of individuals from the community where the case is being tried, represented, and cross-section of the population. The right is a fundamental principle in many legal systems, ensuring a fair and impartial trial. Diddy is from New Rochelle, New York. He is African American. He's 50. A 57-year-old white guy does not represent a juror of his peers. Let's talk to me right now. I just read the definition. Why high? I'm gonna have to listen. I said this because of why high. Now we're seeing the dynamics where it's racial. How replacing a black guy with a 57-year-old white guy represent a jury of his peers? He is from New Rochelle, New York, which I know in New Rochelle, the population of whites is very slim. I know Diddy ain't never been raised with a bunch of white folks growing up, only in the slums of New York. So when you see a lot of cases in America being tried and it's young African-American men, and it's a panel full of white people saying that is their judicial right because it's a jury of his peers. White people who ain't never been to school with him, never run track, never been football, never ate at the local joint, or never even been to Magic City. So now we have a bunch of white old people who's never lived around Diddy, never lived around his kids, don't know what it is. He's about to preside over his case where he's about to face life in prison. You tell me, does that make that the justice system is right? Go ahead.
Yeah, and it also tell me because of Diddy's legal team, they need to do a flawless job every time they be up there. So like I said, I know Diddy feels some type of way for sure. You know, not seeing that that Juror has to go away and everything. He does probably feel some type of way, and hopefully well, no, it's not gonna happen. We'll just see, because anything can happen. But as you see, we have the Juror. We see the Jurors and everything, and for me, I don't like it in a way. To me, it does have some type of do with race and everything. How I see it, especially because how big and magnified this case is when it comes to Diddy. So that's how I feel about it. But like I said, I don't think it's gonna turn it. I mean, it might turn the tide, but Diddy Senior just had to do a flawless job, especially when it comes to his defense. And with that, switching George and everything, I'm with you, right? I think that when it comes to the defense team, when they bring their people to testify, they should bring out Diddy and testify him and bring it all out and everything, and maybe it can squeeze or change the minds of some jurors up there.
Not only that, but just the fact I would say, Ronnie, I respectfully disagree. Diddy Drill is one of the most diverse in history of the Southern District of New York. Let's not play the race card prematurely. I'm not playing the race card here, but the media is. They're using the race card between whites and black to portray people to go on the prosecution side, and I don't like how things are going. If the man found guilty, let him found guilty just based on the fact, not based on race. Because when you start playing the race card, that's when things start getting ugly, and that's when you start seeing drama outside the courtroom. Go ahead, Hakeem, before we move
Just
forward.
the fact, I want to ask him a question. He said the alternate juror was selected during a voir dire like everyone else, and they're still a part of the jury pool. But is that a juror of his peers? Like in a legal description, it says as his constitutional right. A jury of his peers. Just the facts. A jury of his peers. This is a 57-year-old white man who's not from New Rochelle, New York, who hasn't ate hot fried chicken and fries. How that's a jury of his peers who don't sympathize with what he's going through. A racketeering case. You know how many black people get charged with racketeering?
Well, probably because keep that in mind too. It's not a state case. Hakeem is also federal.
It is federal, but still a juror of his peers. Remember that. Let's focus on. Listen, we want to focus on the definition and the words. A juror of his peers to preside over his case. A 57-year-old white man is not a juror of his peers.
Just the fact say yes, it is.
You're gonna make me have a heart attack.
Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell right here inside. Remember, we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this first start Monday. Moving along to Cam Newton. So Cam Newton, Jordan, what's happening with Cam Newton? He had somebody feature on the show.
Yeah, so Cam Newton came to show feature on the show. Shout out to Cam Newton and his podcast. He usually interviews somebody every Friday. So watch him or who he interview. But one of his topics went viral when it comes to, according to him, how K. Michelle asked him a question about him making broken homes and how he has his way to with his girlfriend right now. What's his trajectory? How to make wrongs to his rights. So go ahead, play the clip. After that, we'll chop it up.
Children do deserve a two-parent household. The reality is that's just not how it worked out. Now, the guilt in me feels that
you have a guilt.
No. When you hear it, there can be a guilt that happens. It's like you create broken homes. I can't do nothing about that now. But what I can do is try to make my wrongs right. Mm-hmm. I do that by showing up constantly. I have certain things that I do with children, my children specifically, that's our thing.
But what about now in having new kids and creating? Is that a goal of yours? And you don't have to answer to anybody.
No, ask the question that you're asking.
You want me to ask you a real question?
Please. Go there.
Okay. Well,
my children do deserve a two-parent house.
Having the situation and relationship that you're in now, I did see that your significant other now is having
Another.
one. Is your goal to create? I think everyone would like to know, is your goal right now to create a 2-parent home for your child that you already have and your new child? Is that the goal? Because you do skate around that. From everything that I've watched, you do kind of skate around that. Is the goal? What is the ultimate goal right now in your dating and having kids?
Every situation that I've ever been in, I thought this was the last one.
Okay. Having.
My goal has never been to have multiple significant others.
Okay.
It just worked out like that. So when I say my wrongs to the world or to the stereotype of what a household should be, it has always been screwed up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What do you think a household should be?
I think there should be a male presence and a female presence in each household, because there are certain things that a man or a female should only or can learn specifically from a man.
Yeah.
And then there are certain things that can only be taught from a female.
Okay.
So that's what I do believe in. I do believe there should always be a 2-figure household.
Can I ask you something you might get mad at me about?
Man, you can't make me mad. I'm bulletproof. My goal has never
Being that you're living your life and you are who you are, you have your significant other who is who she is. Do you ever at night and when you're alone or in a space ever feel like you're speaking and things are hurting her?
Yes. Yes.
How do you feel? Like, what does that do
It took
to
her
you?
to tell me that. I didn't know. Because you got to understand, too, that people have to give other people grace, because those aren't prerequisites of understanding for most men. And I always say this about men. Men don't register things the same way females do. Meaning, I don't know how that make you feel. I know if you ask me a question, would you hit? Yeah, I hit. But you standing next to your woman. And
Being
now it's like, would you hit?
Do you see, like, I don't even get into that, but the attack that your significant other gets, I feel is very unfair.
And it's in large part self-inflicted.
What you mean?
Meaning inside the household, I bring these attacks to her. She used the words, not me. She said, baby, I feel like a piñata.
They've liked her before y'all have become a couple.
For sure.
And some things that she has said, you know, might have offended women in other ways, like, you know, and now they're like, oh, so now you're in this situation that you made fun about.
Right. And now all of a sudden you done switched up.
Yeah, you done switched up, but I'm telling you, it's something called being drunk. That dick.
And now it's like, would you hit things? And this is why I always tell females, and I'm grateful that we're having this conversation and you're asking me these questions, because
Go ahead.
You can stop out, Ken. So yeah, that was Cam. So that was Cam was asking a question about, you know, what she thinks about, you know, as a, you know, a family household. You heard what he said, and you know, he's trying to make his wrongs to right. So go ahead. What's your take on Cam?
Cam, he was contradicting himself all across the area. He was talking about his traditional mindset it should be a man and a woman and one household, but yet he continued to create broken homes. It doesn't make any sense. Why promote something that you're not doing? That's one thing I told you about the aspect of when it comes to the black community. Like, we all over the place. It's nothing like very solid. Nothing like we stand firm on something. If you firmly believe in something, stand on it. But yet with someone like him, he said he firmly believes that's how it should be. But yet he goes around and then he change it and still continue to have single parent household. Go ahead, I can't make sense of all of this. I'm trying to make sense of it. Go ahead.
I think this is a good conversation. I think K. Michelle was the right person to have this right conversation, and she asked the right questions and made him look like a goddamn fool, like a bumbling idiot.
That's what I'm saying. Doesn't make sense. Good.
Cam don't know. You grew up in a two household like us, so you doing this, you just threw away everything your daddy just worked for. You made your mama look like a fool on TV. You come from a two-parent household and you creating broken homes and you sound smart to a dumb nigga.
Yeah, man. You know people how well we know as men. Like I said, you could talk to talk, but are you walking the walk? Are you talking when your actions are? And with Cam Newton in this, he can talk like he want to talk, but when it comes to me seeing his actions, he's not doing that. Because if you was doing that, you would be moving like a Steph Curry, like a LeBron James, and like a lot of these stars or football players like a Patrick Mahomes, how they moving, or having a structured family household. And the reason I mention those names is because, these are superstars that Cam once was as a superstar. But when it comes to him, moving like that, when it comes to a family household, which, he was raised in, but he's not practicing it, to me, it's like, you could, if you don't want to move like that, say I'm not moving like that. Because we're seeing, for me, Hakeem, and Ronnie's eyes, he's not moving like that. There's no way that, he's saying what he's saying, but he's not moving what he's moving. And, it's just like, Cam, if you're not about it, don't be about it. And that's how I feel. But my thing is like, if he's bringing like female guests, he wants to be, have calm conversations and everything. Women they want to say, hey, why you not doing this? What's up with this? What's up with that? And K. Michelle would say, hey, you say you want to be open, right? Okay, I got a couple questions for you. And that's what she did.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, right hand side, so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Shout out to King Rooster is also in the building. I'm gonna give him a shout out. He's in the building. Shout out to you guys. Moving along to other topics. Jordan, what's going on when it comes to the aspect of Texas?
Yeah, so it was a big trafficking ring when it comes to 109 kids was rescued. And 244 men and women was arrested for charges for trafficking. And this is one of the biggest rings in the state of Texas, I believe. So Go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Successful roundup of alleged child sex offenders, but it also shows how widespread that crime is in North Texas. The Dallas FBI office, along with some of the 70 law enforcement agencies that all participated, announced the results of what they called Operation Soteria Shield. Here's our JD Miles.
These are the faces of the 244 men and women charged with exploiting children for the purpose of sex trafficking or pornography. It's the end of a month-long investigation by federal and local law enforcement of a crime that authorities say is a year-round problem.
The numbers of offenders arrested and the children rescued in this operation are stunning. It's stunning to hear them repeated here.
109 children were rescued by Operation Soteria Shield, which began in April.
During this operation, many of the children recognized or rescued were previously unidentified. They had never been reported missing. They had never had their abuse known.
Authorities are calling it a successful roundup of alleged child sex offenders, but it also shows how widespread that crime is in North Texas. The Dallas FBI office, along with some of the 70 law enforcement agencies that all participated, announced the results of what they called Operation Soteria Shield. Here's our JD Miles.
These are the faces of the 244 men and women charged with
to authorities.
The operation not only led to arrests and rescues, but also to the seizure of terabytes of child abuse sex material through a collaborative effort that started 10 years ago and now includes 70 Texas law enforcement agencies.
What started as a small team with a bold idea has grown into something very powerful.
In a lot of these cases, authorities say the sex offenders never actually meet their victims face to face, but instead use technology to coerce them into sending explicit images and videos. The head of the Dallas FBI office says the methods used are not just involving social media, but also online gaming systems.
So I think for many of us, I'll speak for my generation, we were raised to be concerned about faceless strangers that might try to contact us or cause us harm on the street. But we've moved past that. Again, predators have access to our children in our home through technology.
Authorities urge families to use parental controls on any devices kids use.
To authorities.
The operation not use, and be aware there are more faces like these still out there.
Yeah, so they say it started a couple months ago, and they made a big trafficking ring, which they rescue and arrest a lot of men and women. So go ahead, Ronnie, what's your take?
Shout out to the state of Texas. They're doing something big, something major. I appreciate that. They're doing something that every state should be doing, is to put an end to all this kidnapping when it comes to these little children. And not only that, but as parents, pay more attention to what your kids doing when it comes to aspect of their device. Pay very, very close attention to what they're watching, what they're doing. Even if you may step out for some period of time, come back, check their phone, check their devices, and make sure nothing suspicious is going on. Because this rain got to stop. There's too many missing children throughout all across America, and I'm glad that the state of Texas is doing something very, very powerful. And I would say kudos to them, and I hope other states will also do the same thing and get involved and stuff like that. Go right ahead, King.
I want to give a shout out to the Texas Rangers. I want to give a shout out to the Texas Rangers, to the state of Texas, to the police departments. I want to give a shout out to the forensics team who was able to put this together. This is what you call protecting our babies. This is what you call protecting our babies. And Ron, you spoke eloquently, and Jordan spoke. Y'all got to be careful and watch what your children do online. You got wackos like this. Now, mind you, I want everybody on that list to be on the chain gang. I'm talking about minimum 15 years prison sentences. Minimum 15 years prison sentence.
They should not. That's too easy. They need to be unalive.
20,
I'm sorry.
20, 25.
Shout out to Gorilla Black.
I think they should be unalive. I'm sorry. No.
So the thing is, we need to be careful. We need to start taking control of this and start putting these guys away. I land right there.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the state of Texas. It just shows you, you know, how many kids they rescue, how many people arrested. It's like, yo, this is not just in Texas. It's going to everywhere. And to me, I would love to see, especially metropolitan areas like a Miami, like a Atlanta, like a New York, LA, Chicago. I wish, some of these local polices will make a special unit when it comes to try to crack down trafficking rings and everything, because if you see Texas to do it, how big the ring is, imagine a city like New York or LA, how, which are much bigger cities, has much more people, how big of a ring, a trafficking ring that comes there and everything. So when it comes to this, I wish, like I said, I hope all of the America police are looking at this and make a special unit when it comes to try to break down these trafficking rings, because it happens too many times. Sometimes, when it comes here in California, they can go across countries, go to Mexico and everything. And, this really tells me, as police officers, you got to do a better job when it comes to protecting our youth, because Texas did a phenomenal job of what they just did.
Facts. Moving along to other trending news. Jordan, what's going on with the situation between Iran and Israel?
Yeah, so over the weekend, Iran has, a few months back, Israel did strike Iran, a military base. And then we found out this weekend that Iran strike that Israel. And, now it looks like it's getting serious, and we might concede a Middle Eastern war in our hands. Go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip. After that, we'll chop it up.
Retaliatory missile and drone strikes into Israel this morning following Israel's attack on Iran's nuclear program.
The U.S. is assisting in Israel's defense, but denies any involvement in the initial attack. Israel's defense minister is warning that Tehran will burn if Iran continues to fire missiles towards Israel. Bradley Blackburn is joining us live now from the newsroom with the latest details on all of this. Bradley?
Doug, Elaine, this morning there are more reports of strikes in Iran and Israel. Iran, as you said, Doug, is warning it could take aim at U.S. military bases and ships if they try to stop Iran's missiles. And today, Israel's defense minister did have that declaration that if Iran's counterattack continues, quote, Tehran will burn. Overnight, explosions lit up the sky over Tel Aviv as Iran launched another counterattack. The Israeli military urged civilians to take shelter as they intercepted the strikes with the Iron Dome system. The U.S. is assisting in the defense, but some weapons slipped through. The IDF said dozens of people have been injured, some seriously, and there are reports of some deaths. Dozens of sites have been targeted. At daybreak, first responders assess the damage. The intensifying conflict has the world worried about an all-out war. It ignited Friday when Israel attacked Iran's nuclear sites. Iran claimed hundreds were injured and at least 78 people were killed, including some top officials. Israel's attack had been in the works for months. Israeli media reports Israel's intelligence service, the Mossad, built a drone base inside Iran for the assault. This video released by Mossad showing Israeli soldiers on Iranian soil.
I do think what they're trying to do is to further illustrate how the Iranian regime has lost control of their country.
Crowds gathered in Tehran Saturday chanting death to Israel and death to America. Iran's supreme leader has vowed revenge, while Israel's prime minister appealed to the Iranian people.
We're also clearing the path for you to achieve your objective, which is freedom.
The U.S. says it is assisting with Israel's defense, but was not involved in the attack, insisting Israel took unilateral action against Iran. President Trump does say he knew the attack was in the works, but he had publicly been appealing to Israel to hold off to let nuclear negotiations with Iran continue. The White House claims that talks scheduled for tomorrow are still on, despite the conflict. Elaine, Doug?
Bradley Blackburn live for us from the newsroom. Bradley, thank you. Meanwhile, here in the city, the NYPD is increasing security at some synagogues as volunteer paramedics and doctors from New York try to make their way to Tel Aviv. A volunteer rescue group shared the devastating video from Central.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, I don't know what's going on in the Middle East, but they not playing around. They definitely Old Testament, I can say that. But go ahead, Rodney, man, what's your take?
So here's the thing, quick, because I had to I did research about this over the weekend. So what happened was, pretty much, Iran is creating, according to Benjamin Netanyahu, that Iran is creating a lot of atomic bombs underneath these military bases. So that's the one Israel attacked. They attacked the military bases that was creating high officials and also high well-known scientists who were creating atomic bombs to wipe Israel out of the face of the planet. So Israel went ahead and attacked them, so they won't be able to do that. So that base is gone. It's no longer there. Some of high officials are gone, and also some scientists as well as some people within the area. So Iran got upset, strike back. United States got involved. The whole purpose is Iran told the United States to not get involved, because if you get involved, we're going to end up striking you guys, y'all military bases as well. That, of course, Trump over the weekend stated that they're trying to work out a peace agreement and to make things completely ceasefire and make everything stop. Things are not looking good for both nations. At some point, they got to get the point is that we can't live a war like this, a war of keep on fighting and fighting and fighting, because now it's starting to get dangerous when it comes to aspect of nuclear war. Nuclear war could really do some damage for anybody. We do not want to be another World War II. That's the whole purpose of it. So, President Trump said they're all in the talks, but let's see how this talk pretty much transpires. Go right ahead, King.
I really want to say some things, but this is not the platform for us to say it. I am disappointed. I am disappointed that instead of talking out, people have been very highly aggressive. And taking matters into their own hand. A lot of these things are alleged. You know what I mean? They have yet, you know what I mean? A lot of these things are alleged, and I'm not in the Middle East to know if Iran is supplying guns or Houthis and stuff. But I am understand, but when you attack somebody unprovoked, off intelligence that have not been verified.
No, but they're not doing guns. They're doing atomic bombs. They're doing bombs.
I know, my brother. So, but as they shot the first shot, instead of talking it out, and let me tell you something, Mossad has done a lot of things over the years and across the Middle East country that has been very unprovoked to a lot of these countries. So now we're watching this in real time. I can't wait till Noah come back. I pray Noah come back and drown all of us so we can do a complete reset. You can't feel you could take matters into your own hands. You're not God. None of you are. All nations, you're not God. This shit seems crazy. Bombs is dropping on both, and who suffers? The civilians. I ain't in Israel. I ain't in Iran. I'm in the great state of Florida. And I'm truly blessed, but I do sympathize with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't like Middle East. They're so, Old Testament and everything. Like if you come talk about us, like here in the New World, like United States, South America, Canada, even some European places, we go upon it's like, when it comes to weapons, guns, nuclear bombs, that's the last thing we're going to resort to. When it comes to the Middle East, when it comes to, Iran and Israel, and also, like I said, a month before that, India and Pakistan and everything, when they was fighting over a city and everything, they will fight, they will use weapons, and they don't care. It's like for them, it's weapon first, talk later. For us over here, it's talk later, weapons at the last resort. And I just wish, the Middle East, they turn to the New World and not putting your civilians involved, being innocent lives and it being attacked and everything. And I can never in my life want to go to a place where I might go visit and everything, and all of a sudden, one or two countries go at it. Instead of talking about it, they shoot first. They shoot missiles first. I can never imagine living in a country like that. And people and the civilians that living over there, it's just this I know they're scared and everything. This the shock and everything. It's a tough life. I just can't see that. I just wish, like I said, they would turn to a new world of talk first and then shoot at the last resort. But in their mind, in the Middle East, they shoot first. I don't care how many civilians you take. We're gonna keep shooting until we're gonna make a deal. And that's how it is in the Middle East.
But Trump, the President Trump did stated that Israel did do a good thing by attacking Iran on military basis. Because remember, Hakeem, like I said, they're not creating guns; they're creating atomic bombs. Allegedly, that's what they're creating. And to me, if a nation is doing that, I would do the same thing. Because atomic bomb, you saw what it did in World War II. Some people in Japan are still suffering from that. It's nothing to play around with. Atomic bomb is nothing to play around with. Now, guns, of course, that's nothing to play around with too. But atomic bombs, bro, you talking about whole nations will no longer exist anymore. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Right now, we're in overtime because there was a lot of things going on over the weekend. I just want to make sure we're able to cover it before we head up and out of here. So, Jordan, what's going on with No Kings protests all across America?
So you guys, it was Donald Trump's birthday yesterday, so celebrating his birthday. But when it comes to the other United States of Americans, when it comes to people that lived in Miami, Los Angeles, DC, Chicago, New York, they protest against Trump because of what he's doing with the ICE situation. That everybody protests around America to No Kings protest, meaning you are not our president. You are not our king. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip. Now we'll chop it up.
Afternoon, I'm Rana Novini. We want to update you now on breaking news happening here in the city where crowds have been marching in Midtown for today's No Kings protests. It's part of a nationwide day of protests against President Donald Trump's policies. Our team has been on the ground covering this from all angles this afternoon. We saw the protests kick off at Grand Central Station. They moved on to Bryant Park. On the move from there, we have News 4's Chris Jose live in the middle of it all. Chris, tell us where you guys are now.
Hey, Brandon, we're here on 5th Avenue on 42nd and 41st. You can see here tens of thousands of people lined up along 5th Avenue. Right now, the crowd is slowly making its way towards Madison Square Park. You can see here, they are here, again, tens of thousands of people braving the rainy conditions this afternoon. You can see them holding their signs, a lot of them chanting different kinds of sayings right now. There is some profanity, so we're going to be a little bit careful. But you mentioned Grand Central Terminal. So we were there about 90 minutes ago. I can tell you there's a large law enforcement presence out there. Everything from National Guard troops to State Patrol, also NYPD and MTA officers. There's restricted access in that area this afternoon. But it's important to note that this is a peaceful protest, no King's Day. And we've been speaking to protesters throughout the afternoon. Take a listen to what a couple of them said to us a short time ago.
There should never be anyone here who thinks he is above the people and above the law.
Listen to the people. We're not happy, all of us. And it's not right or left, it's wrong or right.
All right, back live here along 5th Avenue, right along 42nd and 41st. Again, you're looking at tens of thousands of people out here. The NYPD close by monitoring the situation. The crowd slowly making its way towards Madison Square Park. They are out here, tens of thousands of them. This is a peaceful demonstration. We're going to be out here throughout the afternoon as we make our way towards, closer towards Madison Square Park.
So, Jordan, you there?
Yeah, I'm back. So, so there you have it. It seems like with Trump's in office, they always protesting to get him, and he only been in the seat for almost 5 months now, and people are already getting agitated against him. But go ahead, Ronnie, man, what's your take?
So the Iowa has become no king protest. They're pretty much saying that Trump is using abusing power once again. Every time Trump is in office, like you stated, Jordan, they always doing protests over and over and over again. They're trying to get him impeached. I told people that's not going to happen because he got a majority of the House and a majority of the Supreme Court. It's not going to happen. So you guys are wasting time. Now, granted, do Trump go overboard at times? Of course he do. If Trump sometimes he does stuff that don't make sense, of course he does. But at the same time, like, the man is only in office just for a couple of months. He have not even done nothing too major yet. But it always happens. Every time Trump is in office, the liberals want to go ahead and do protests instead of protesting other thing that's going on within the community. Now, we understand the aspect of the immigrants. A lot of these immigrants are here illegally, but it's not fair for people that are doing the process the right way are still waiting their time to be American citizens when you have illegals here that think it's okay for them to do what they want to do. No. So, at the same time, I do not agree with this protest here. Luckily, nothing in Florida happened because of you already saw the Broward sheriff stated if you guys was protesting during the weekend running traffic, he told, hey, guys, run them over. You guys got somewhere to go. So luckily that didn't happen. They did a protest there here in downtown Miami. Nothing was ever. It was literally a peaceful protest, and that's good to see. It was not like L.A. what happened in L.A. So that was good to see that. So it was a peaceful protest. However, it is what it is. Go ahead, Akeem.
This is America. America has laws. We have customs. We have a culture that we have to abide by. You're not bigger than the program. This is the president of the United States, which voted in a democracy where the American people voted him in there. Let's not forget that. And the biggest issue that was on the ballot was immigration, for God's sake. And you complaining, 90% of you Hispanics voted him in, and you have a problem now?
That's a fact.
The statistics are in Florida, Texas, California. Y'all voted him in. You said you wanted to protect the borders, and he's protecting the borders is an issue. Because they got rid of Juancito, it's an issue. Or Pablo, the landscaper. You didn't know he was undocumented? You didn't know he broke a federal law? A federal law? He came over here, didn't tell nobody where he was from, started working, collecting, not paying taxes, and now it's an issue. What we supposed to do? Do we supposed to live in anarchy, people? Talk to me. Yes, your kids are born here. They're American now. Does that mean that everybody should come here and just break the law and say it's okay, or we should just give you a tap on the wrist? For God's sakes, they've deported thousands of Haitians. You don't see me complaining? If they came here illegally, it hurts, but I'm an American. I have to say, what we supposed to do? You can get mad and you can get comment, but the American people voted him in to handle this issue.
And one of the reasons it's so big, you guys, is because, you know, it's this. Well, when it comes to the city of LA, you know, we're one of the big cities when it comes to immigrants. When it comes to Asians coming over here, you know, Hispanics coming here, you know, from not just Mexico but Central America and everything. And LA probably itself to be an immigrant city because, you know, we have a lot of Hispanics here. And, you know, once, you know, and what was it, two weeks ago before the race started and everything was peaceful. But, you know, soon as ICE come and everything, and they start doing tactics that, you know, we might like or dislike and everything, it definitely turned the show. And LA showed out and everything. It got so, you know, so big, so organized that it went nationally. And now everybody's seeing this and now having a problem with it. But the thing is, people wasn't having a problem with it. Was happening in other cities. They was doing raids. It only happened in Los Angeles. And that's why, and what happened in Los Angeles, it got big, got so huge. So, for me, some tactics I don't like, you know, waiting, you know, when to do graduations in school and everything. I don't like that tactic and everything. But, you know, the ICE will do whatever they can to you know, get that person and get them out of here and everything. To me, this is you know, when it comes to this is not nothing to worry about, you know, when it comes to immigrants. And the thing is, I saw a stat this morning, fellas, when it comes to the last top 5 president when it comes to deportation, it showed that Barack Obama was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who was the last one? Donald J. Trump. George Bush, he deported more immigrants. Bill Clinton deported more than Donald Trump. Joe Biden deported more immigrants than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And right now, Donald Trump is still the lowest right now. I mean, you know, people are just, you know, getting at it because especially here in LA, because the unfair tactics they're doing to how to get these illegal outs when it comes to ICE and everything. But I'm telling you guys, if it happened to other cities, if it didn't happen in California, if it didn't happen like in Vegas or Florida, Georgia, it wasn't big like this, fellas. It all be happening here in LA because it's an immigrant city. And when ICE started taking immigrants, they would turn out, and that's just why this is so big today.
Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember to click all, because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Thank you guys so much for being here, guys. Make sure you follow. It's so very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those right now watching us on Rumble and also X. Also, guys, you know, it's so very important for you guys to make sure you go to Chaos Culture Radio description. In the description where you can find a Chaos Culture Radio t-shirt, where we have the Chaos Culture Radio store, where we have the Chaos Culture Radio t-shirt, the hat, the coffee mug, you name it. It's all in the Chaos Culture Radio store. It's in the description and it's also on top of the chat as well. And also, guys, so very important, you go to Chaos Culture Radio community tab or the community post, where we post important information. Also, Prince Hakeem new book, Black Love, and also Raising King is out now. He also put it out another post where it is a QR code. You can click on it and lead you guys straight over to the book. So you go ahead and purchase it and support this lovely Black author. Support him, guys. Support him. Make him the biggest thing on the planet. You know what I mean? Not only that, his album's out now too as well. Broadway Fat is out now. So guys, go ahead, click on it. It leads you guys right over to the album as well. It's all in the community post, you know, in the Chaos Culture Radio side. I'm only saying that. The reason why I'm saying it for the people that right now watching us on Bingo Live and also TikTok. Thank you guys so much for being here too, guys. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this lovely Fresh Start Monday. Shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryant that was also in the building. I love you guys. Shout out to White House was also in the building. New subscriber Noah was in the building. King Rooster was there also in the building. Shout out to DJ Tron right now watching us on Instagram. Also King watching us on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Gorilla Black that was also here. Sherry. You know, condolences go to you guys, you and Hakeem, you know, for losing a high school friend. You know what I mean? It happens all the time. Shout out to Just a Fact coming in with Just the Facts coming in. Really appreciate it. Joe No heard him also in the building. Zach was also in the building. Thank you so much for being here. We really do really appreciate you guys. Shout out to all the new subscribers, man. We really do really appreciate you guys. We hope to see you guys tomorrow on Vertical Live Tuesday. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KL Culture Radio. We were a little bit over today, but we had to do it because there was so much to cover, man. And we're going to cover more tomorrow. So be on the lookout tomorrow. We over and out.
Peace.
Peace.